Okay, we back. We back. Fairly successful day. I not only worked today, but I was able to record before work. And now we're midnight post work. And we get into State of Decay. The big thing here is I was able to do a little bit of work off the stream. Get us in a much better position. So what happened last night when I quit, I had to quit really quickly. Obviously, we gave her a lot of love, but you were already aware of that earlier in the run. She's had quite a bit of work done to her. Squirrel's still excellent. And shall remain excellent. And is still broken as hell. I did give Angry Workaholic. Okay, she's still pathetic, she's still awful. It's the only thing I gave her because this is supposed to be giving us 1+ labor. Maybe I gotta max it out. I don't even know how I just got on her. But regardless, it's been frustrating me. She's not giving us that labor. So we have 5 people and how much labor? 10 labor now. Okay, well, I'm not sure how that works, but I'll take it. So a little bit of work done, as you can see, before I got on here today, and I am going to apply that. So this one has that completely random thing in it. Why not? We've got power. I should have done that a long time ago, but we ran out of ammo when I had to get off here. So I thought before I got on here today, I'd get us some ammo and round up some stuff and try to stabilize the situation without being half asleep and feeling pretty frustrated and done with things. No, rather, we are back in the driver's seat, I think. Which means one thing and one thing only. And as you can see, we actually have ammo now. Hence why it's midnight and I'm recording. So I just want to record the finale of this. In the larger sense, I'm not sure how important this playthrough is, other than it needed to be done. It was on the backlog, it had been started, and just needed to be done. And the sincerity of the playthrough, you know, I'd call it in question, considering there was tons of glitches in this file, which have been visible and exemplary throughout, but then we did our own bit of work to sort of counter the glitching, and it's been a funny run. But it's really become the run where I don't use the pyro launcher. If you could call it anything, that's what it is. So it's definitely just on to the next thing. After, probably won't be tonight. I don't think I'll actually get it beat tonight. But I will get the last Plague Heart done. That's the most important thing. Squirrel is just... wow, she's just really good. At this point, it's kind of crazy. It's a little crazy. But you know what? We're ready to rock and roll. And I'm good with that. Personally, I'm good with that. And we had discovered late last night, right before we got off of here, where we thought that this heart would probably be. So I just got to remember that real quick. And then we're gravy. So where was that? See, oh yeah, down here. Here we go. We're assuming it's down here. The thing is, once you start, I'm gonna go here first. Messing with the community editor and like using stuff like that just to right some wrongs. It's just super tempting to just keep going, because you can give yourself things that you would never ever get. At least I haven't in my runs. So to a degree, I've enjoyed that aspect of it, and don't regret getting to experience that aspect of the game. But I won't go quite, Squirrel won't be a part of the next playthrough. I would love to take Squirrel into the Trumbull Lone Survivor playthrough, but there's got to be some more rules to that challenge run. In the sense that I just can't see lethal with one survivor. being doable. And I'm not even sure if it was the mix of traits or if she just has bugged out as to why her immunity is so absolute. Which was really the thing that ended up driving this into broken territory.
It's like nobody else is home.
I hate when there's just one thing left. This is something they could, I think, improve for the next one. Scouting is good for that. I'll give it credit there, but it's like that's the one thing it does. They recently buffed that, didn't they? Probably not recently. It's probably been like a year, but still, they did at one point buff that and make an attempt at improving that. It's not an awful perk. Like you should never take scouting. It's just not as good as others. Which in lethal, that's all that matters. That's the trump card right there. Somehow our feral bounty reset though, which kind of makes me mad, and zombies killed while crouched reset, because we were at 1 of 2 ferals last night. So we'll find the last plague heart in this episode. Hopefully 1 or 2 of the missions can be done. I just think that the mission delay is going to take too long. Freaking blood plague ferals. They're a nightmare. What if there's a trick to running them over? We're so many years post State of Decay 1, but I still take all of those habits from State of Decay 1 into State of Decay 2, even with how much time has passed. And the problem with that is most of them haven't aged. I've just played so much State of Decay 1 that I have certain things that I want to have work still. I want to be able to run juggernauts into walls. I want to be able to use the uppercut on a blunt weapon to knock down a feral and stab it. I want to be able to hit a feral with a door and kill it. It's good that none of that works. In some cases, I miss the uppercut. And I miss having a definite way to stun a juggernaut, especially a blood plague juggernaut. Well, you know why I'm here. I'm feeling confident again. I'm probably feeling overconfident. That's a problem. So if you really wanted to, if you got everything going your way, you could get a stamina bar. Now this is a character that's running like 6 extra traits for the sake of transparency and honesty. And I completely decked and pimped out Squirrel. But that being said, that's the first time I've seen the bar actually go halfway up. And I know they talked from the beginning that that was possible. A Juggernaut? That is doable, though. Because we have 2 sniper supports, I believe. Maybe, yeah, we got 2. And that can kill a Juggernaut. And I'll tell you what, since we have 10 labor, which I gave Angry, the awful survivor, overworked, and I gave Squirrel exuberant or handy, something like that. I should remember some of these, but either way, it was a trait that gave her 1+ labor. I'm not sure that that somehow should have tied to a +5 boon, but
let's go.
It did. So when I get, because isn't there like a whole thing? I guess I threw that in there too. Look how expensive that is, though. I guess I did that just to see what it does. Is that really worth it? 200 parts? It's not freaking worth it at all. You gain a Clio Bootstrap package. Knowledge of programming. How do we get Liz to that? How do we upgrade computers? Is that done just by sending out a broadcast? Is this okay? This improves computer skills as well. I was pumped. We actually had some materials, and I was gonna like, yeah, let's do something. At least this makes sense now. But we already spent all of the materials, so. Excitement over. At least we have ammo, though, because our sniper tower was no longer usable. Where's this Juggernaut, though? This has happened throughout this playthrough. This is just another example of bugs. Many, many times now, there's supposed to be an enemy in an area, and there isn't. Buggy playthrough. But you know what? It didn't have any Independence Day pack stuff. It didn't have any Red Talon stuff. So technically, according to my own rules for this challenge run, we found some loopholes. I ain't lying. We found some loopholes. But still, mission accomplishing the mission. We haven't won yet. And yesterday we lost Gare Bear, who Gare Bear also had some extra traits given to him. And he still died. Squirrel has just been that special pea in the pod. But on another level, I haven't gotten to explore Providence Ridge. Every time I played the game anymore, it's always for a challenge run, or I'm doing, you know, the stream thing, or I'm trying to like get some footage for something. I just haven't stopped and appreciated some of the new content in this map particular. It's been like a year since the Juggernaut edition came out. So I almost want to either have characters like this or just lower the difficulty at some point and just run around and explore. Because in State of Decay 1, I really knew the maps. Well, granted, it was map. It was map in the Lifeline DLC, right? But I knew the Trumbull County map like the back of my hand. That's really the thing that has made Squirrel the ultimate warrior. Is the blood plague not affecting her is just made, it's made it a lot like a normal run. It's still hard, but I think it goes without explaining. It, like I said, it makes State of Decay 1 easier to realize how dangerous, how lethal they make blood plague and lethal. See, I always thought it should be a bite and you should get infected, and I changed my mind on that. That's one thing I would go back to. Like, yeah, you know, I think lethal is about as hard as it should get as far as the blood plague is concerned, because you just can't keep up with it. If this isn't the last heart, though, I feel less guilty about Squirrel's existence. Squirrel's existence in many ways. I'm looking for the right word. What is it? I don't want to say nullify, because that's not really the word. But it's whatever the word is. I'm not finding it right now. It seriously toned down the difficulty. And it didn't make it laughable, but it changed things. And because every other character has been, you know, very mortal compared to Squirrel. And that's all to do with blood plague. It shows that even in lethal, no matter how good, if you take one thing out of this playthrough, if anyone watches this playthrough and you want to become better at State of Decay, take one thing out of it. In lethal, yes, having good characters is very helpful. Very helpful. Almost necessary. But nothing is more important than your strategy and on how you decide to take on these hearts and how you choose to interact with the map. Because
gotta kill that screamer.
Even really good, unnaturally souped up characters like Gary, and at times even Tofu. Like, look at this situation. This is a game. This is a moment where the game wants to kill you. So it's either find some buddies and do like a Lamb to Slaughter run where you have a sacrificial pawn, like we used Buckslayer. which even then wasn't that helpful. You know, it was good to have him there as a body, but it really, the biggest thing there was that Wilso came in with some really souped up heroes, some really good guns, and, you know, really helped us out. So, yeah, we did it. It still got accomplished. And that's the nature of Lethal. Like, there's no reason to have an ego about Lethal because it's just been designed to be so overwhelming. You know, your own fundamental understanding of the game is broken a good portion of the time. See, it's not like State of Decay 1 with the big Cleo drops where you could put skill in there and you could plug it in and you would still win because the game never completely cheated. It just said, here's a bunch of stuff. Now you need to deal with it. Now see, what I should have is a pyro launcher. If I have a pyro launcher or something like that, I can actually deal with the situation. But without a pyro launcher... So, the first rule of Lethal, I'd say, is utilize everything at your disposal and don't feel guilty about that in the least. Use the pyro launcher. Use the Cleo stuff. Keep rolling your survivors or use the community editor. Not necessarily do what we did here with like Squirrel, but use the community editor so you don't have to sit there and reroll all day.
The armor's gone.
And you can put a more naturally broken survivor in there with hard to kill and some of the other preferable perks. Rough hands, indefatigable, just keeps going. That kind of stuff. Because right here, under normal circumstances, Squirrel is, of course, infected. And even with all her power and might, is down. Now, whatever has conspired to cause Squirrel to be this way, of course, I'm thankful for, because it means this run can end. But even with all her power and might, what I'm saying is, she would totally die right there. She would have been infected a while ago, and I probably couldn't back out of here because the truck is too surrounded by blood plague. Every little scratch is just, it's very much like Breakdown, but even harder. Like Breakdown Day 99 runs were really, really intense. But Lethal Zone has actually managed to create an experience even more intense than that. Damn, I wanted to get a... There's just so many that... Shotgun feels like the option right now. To be fair, we actually have some shells. That's some off-stream doing.
Time to reload.
We'll keep it closer to the book for the Afflicted Warlord. But yeah, rule number one is if it's in the game, you gotta use it. Now that was big time in Nightmare, but less so on the cheesy side. But Nightmare, and Dread, but Nightmare was the one I did the most of. It was every mechanic that you used to ignore, like Blood Plague, and getting people stabilized, and monitoring your resources, and using stealth. Choosing which communities you help and which you don't. Not helping every community out there. Being really smart about ammo. Being extremely smart about noise. Choosing your engagement. Stuff that the game said that was going to be important because it's a zombie simulation game, but ultimately when the game first came out, it didn't matter in the least. But with Nightmare, you now really had to pay attention to this stuff. It really brought the game to life. That's why I was so impressed by Nightmare, because I thought this game had a lot of tacked-on mechanics that made sense on paper, but when you played the game, it never felt like they mattered or even existed, because you just outright ignore them. I mean, to begin with in this game, you just took a 50 cal out and could shoot your way through the map. You could spawn in the muscle car, the pre-order Ultimate Edition bonus. spawn that in, get yourself 50 cal, which I think was also like a pre-order thing you could pop in without having any problems. And you could just run through the whole play card in minutes. Very similar to what we were doing when we were doing our speed runs. And obviously that was pretty broke, so they had to change it. But I think my headphones are backwards. But so they balanced it, but it took a long time for the difficulty to reach a level where you had to start thinking strategically about how you wanted to play things. I don't see how that third shot didn't work. Then you got to take into effect things like that with State of Decay that make the more challenging experiences at times really frustrating. So like Daybreak, I've got a big Daybreak review on YouTube. One of my big complaints about Daybreak is that it is repetitive for one, but that it's really challenging, but that the game is still so buggy a lot of the time with its physics and its hit detection, things of that nature. Like, Daybreak legitimately can be defined in a second. You can either lose your technician or save him in a second. So every time you get ghost staggered off the Juggernaut, or you go to execute a zombie and you bounce off the curb, and it changes the whole fight, that's when the game is just screwing you. See, sometimes it's fun just to slay out. Then say, well, that's why there's green zone, but you never get opportunities like this in green zone. One thing I miss from Nightmare, I don't know if it's still a thing in Nightmare, so we play Lethal so much these days. That's the only thing we play now. But are like the Juggernauts with their little school of fishes behind them.
That's a lot of stuff.
There's been a lot of zombies here. It's been sort of nutty. We just can't even just like fucking clear it either. Again, we would have had Blood Plague a long time ago. Look at all the freaks that have been here. And you know what's really crazy? Is I don't think this was the last heart. The freaks have never stopped. There is something about this little spot that like this, moments like this is Lethal saying, you were not meant to live through this. A lot of that's me being loud as hell and stuff, but dude, that's multiple packs of freaks at this point.
Almost out.
The only answer would have been to leave a long time ago, had it been any other hero, and to come back, maybe have C4, have some kind of explosives, get a traitor, do it like we did with Earl. Didn't Earl get 2 hearts last night? Like, we haven't just completely relied on Squirrel. We've heavily relied on Squirrel, which has not been the only answer. This fucking screamer. Dude, that was the 3rd or 4th pack of Blood Plague jugs. We still haven't killed all the screamers. Oh my god, I think the game is just gonna stop at this point. Sort of stupefied that this character made it through, and only made it through because, well, she's broken as hell, game. It's not your fault. Nobody can kill her. It's Squirrel. It's Squirrel, motherfucker. She's tough. What do we have on here? Oh, vintage rifle compensator. Oh good, there's even more still in here. Listen to that. You know what that is? It's gonna be another pack of bloaters. Look, it's a bloater. It's a fucking, that's the 5th pack. I'm nearly positive that's the 5th pack of bloaters. That is out of control at this point. And then a feral. Anyone but Squirrel, like, is dead. It's been a completely out of control situation. The game doesn't even know what to do about it anymore. I'm pretty sure her stamina bar is actually higher than that middle too. So yeah, the Afflicted Warlord run is going to be a real bitch. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to get that done, 2 Point Hospital done, Outriders, and probably Atomic Crops. And maybe Astroneer with my nephew. While we're still on this work schedule that I'm currently on. And then I'm going to start before Halo Infinite is out. I mean, hopefully late, at this point, mid to late October, early November. Really be back to streaming this stuff. It's just a matter of when it's going to be best. Because right now, like I said, I'm working 7 days a week, which is that I'm in the AMs and then I'm on the weekends, and it's the whole thing. Hey, if we kill this jug, you can see that's a special weapon crate. The big thing about Squirrel that I feel is nice, regardless of her, you know, OP-ness. And yes, I said OP-ness again. And I don't regret it. So I can actually play the game a little bit. Even then, I mean, it's still dangerous as hell, but... Look at that. I mean, fuck, man. There's 2 of them. What the fuck? This is actually crazy. I've never seen it get this bad. This is just out of control. That completed the mission, but holy crap, dude. It's just been never ending. This is the smallest break the game has given us. For the sake that they're at least giving us a chance to clear these guys out so that we can breathe. This area is death. If you don't have your own squirrel, don't come here.
It's not much.
You will die. The game will see to it that you will die. I didn't even want to get rid of them. I'd rather them just stay there and take up system memory so that nothing else spawns. And yeah, I'm somebody who's always about immersion. I'll break the rules. Bottle of absinthe. We have a lot of those backpacks, and we're near the end. I think. I've said that a bunch, but we keep finding more hearts, so... Is that another jug? I really can't even loot much more. Where could the final heart be?
Why can't everywhere be this quiet?
How many times have I called it the final heart?
Shit.
I know there's shit coming up on me, but I'm just trying to figure out where we want to go next. There's not been very much even left on the map. Look at this area. There's another set of bloaters and jugs. It's out of control.
Somebody's missing. Will you help search?
Their missions are spawning in awful fast. Okay, I think I've got a brief. There's just a bunch of sheds up there, and a heart's not gonna spawn in a shed. So I should just get to this trader. That's the way I see it. God, these headphones can get hot. I'll probably give them this busted up carbine. Okay, do I have a second? Just to look. I mean, really? This is nutty. Maybe over there. Maybe. That's about the last spot left on the map. Little spots. Spots that shouldn't be... shouldn't be like this. Tell you what though, is there an animation? I want to see if there's an animation when you go to clear out the Clio core. I wish I could drive this giant truck too. Just for fun. This looks like I should change my mind. It's so steep you can't even see up it. A squirrel hasn't come this far just to get wrecked by a hill, has she? The hell of a truck, a lot of torque. Oh, there's that shed. Suspicion confirmed. Hey, look, weapon thing. Better hurry up and get to that thing, though. Well, I'll tell you, that is gonna have more trade value than a fake A7. Let's get us back on the main path. That expired? We just got in 30 minutes ago. I started recording 30 minutes ago. There should be nothing expiring. Looks like it burned down. It's too bad, because we could still would like Lizard's hero bonus. There's a house here we never did get to looting. We could maybe just pop in and grab the rucksack. I think this was the house. Maybe? I can't remember. It hardly feels worth it. Like a little devil there on the front. Creepy. Good Halloween game. This should take me like no time at all to clear this out. The only issue is I have that's the problem. I have like no medicine left. Look at this, holy fuck. Remember how I said this would just take me a minute? Okay, now it claims all I have to do is get rid of the zombies. Well, I have plenty of shotgun shots, so maybe I can do that. I mean, it might be the infestations that's causing so much problems with the spawns.
Get out, a feral! Aim for the head.
Cool. He's gonna jump on the front of this truck, though. Still clearing infestation, don't care. That's been tough enough. Lucky enough to have some shotgun shells to be able to do it. That's been another big issue. Oh crap. Went the wrong way. 8 minutes is gonna be pretty close. How did that knock off? Come on, it was the door. Whatever, man. You can't even use the signature state of decay door method anymore. I think it's gonna be like the 7 dwarves, the afflicted warlord. I'm gonna do like 1 can't max their cardio, 1 can't max their shooting, which is really the least important to me, and 1 can't max their melee. Cardio and the melee ones are really gonna be rough. Hopefully there's at least an outpost out here. To me, it's just... how is secure the territory still a thing? I can't think that I've had any map load in with as many hearts as this has had. Maybe if we go back and we look... and I look anyway at the other playthroughs, the first 2, I'll say, yeah, there was always this many hearts. But right now, playing at this moment, it sure as hell doesn't feel like it. 6 minutes. It's gonna be so close. Still, I gotta stop and get gas and fix this car up. Watch it be really close to the base in some super obvious spot. Is the radio command to scout a heart available? You can't do that in lethal. Wow. It's pretty rough. Any other trade goods? I don't even have a med pack left. Could have swore I had kept one around just in case. $250 parts. Oof. Why is this still a thing? Who needs this as a mission? I'll clear the Clio thing when we get back to base, because I kind of want to see what it does. As far as this is concerned, I'm going to detach this. I'm going to unload it. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to grab some more shotgun shells for this. I'm going to go back to my AR-15. Whip that. 5.56 we've been able to pick up. I can't... We grabbed up a whole bunch of ammo, and yet... I wonder if that doesn't give us... Yeah, it gives us even more power. I'll take it. Apparently it's chokes I'm looking for on the shotguns. Whole bunch of time spent gathering stuff up, but to no avail. Well, some time spent, rather. It wasn't, like, too bad. Okay. I very much so like last night. Kind of figured we were walking right into getting the final heart done and just gonna start to smoothly move here, but what do you know? That's not the case, and this is gonna be really close. Even our parts economy is collapsing. That's kind of that's the bad news right now. Running out of parts. And unable to scout the plague heart, which I think even in lethal should be an option on the final one at least. I keep saying final one, but that's obviously proven to be not the case about 6 times now. I'm just gonna have to really properly slowly look through the map. See what we can. I hope they do this less in the next State of Decay. Just throw big rocks in your way. And you've already got the stuck command in there, like, what's even the point? Just let us drive over some rocks every now and again. They had that one 4x4. I guess I shouldn't make the same damn mistake, but and it does help a little, but with no DLC we can't use it, and it's not easy to get a hold of. In fact, I don't even know how the hell you'd get a hold of it if you don't have an old community. That's the problem when you do stuff like us, where we just run playthroughs all the time and don't keep a community going. They had that 4x4 black truck way back in the day, and it's the same truck from the Independence Day pack, but it had a much cooler skin to it.
Hello there.
I mean, of course, I'm not against the red, white, and blue in Old Glory.
We're here to
Love it
help
as
keep
much
you in
as the
touch,
next guy,
and
but
maybe offer a helping hand.
it was a pretty cool ass black paint job. The truck is already almost out of gas. We just filled it up. We just filled that damn truck up. Finding that network signal booster is pretty nice.
Time to reload.
think the game is, it definitely doesn't do what it did to us 5 minutes ago on the whole, here's an unlimited horde of freaks. When you happen to be lucky enough to have a trader around.
Let's make a deal.
Well, sure.
You got something for me?
Well, sure.
Well, sure. Well, sure. Surely. Sure. Lack of gas is scary. Nah, we need to just go back to base and drop this shit off. Probably spent all our influence on it. It's kind of neat that we managed to get power and water without the boon, though, on lethal. It's probably the one thing that was achieved during this run, was just doing that. Having to go old school on that. Definitely using boons. 100% using boons on the next one. I'm probably going to do Trader and Builder. I mean, I think those are overall the best. But it is tempting to use... or Sheriff. Whichever one gives you some items every day, it adds up. But... tempted to use the Warlord just to get a fast start, which I think is going to be our only hope. They all have their role. There's not one of the boons that's awful. It's just that the Builder one is obviously by and far the best. Okay, you know, I could do this. Wait, this was water supply right there. Huh. That is tempting. That is tempting in the sense that I don't need to go down here anymore, and I know that the final Builder mission is an all-out assault, and that should definitely decrease. How much influence do we have? 542. I gotta go gain some more influence, but then I'm gonna take that out and I'm gonna go grab this up. I guess we could go do this in the meantime.
I'm coming your way, whether you like me or not.
But it also, while we're heading down there, where was that little place we saw? I'll start a new episode though.